And according to my little device there, it tells me that I'm live. I just came from the garden and I looked around and I have a lot of work to do. I have to prune 25 fruit trees. They've already dropped the majority of their leaves, and those leaves have dropped, and I'm happy about that. They're tangled with a number of vines, so I have to deal with that as well. And that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work. So what I'm going to do next is um, just keep working at it. That's the only thing I can do. I have a pretty good sized garden. I have to keep working at it. I really enjoy it sometimes, but let's say I got to sharpen all my instruments, clean them up, and then go out and they recommend that you already keep your tools sharp. But with today's world, you're being so busy, sometimes you don't get the time to sit and sharpen them and have them ready. And some of you do have yours ready and ready to go. And I didn't get mine ready yet. So I got the big loppers and I also have the secateurs. And I use those to keep control of the size of my trees. I have had a young lady on yesterday, Miss Miller, and I think she commented on the fact that I keep my trees at 6 feet. And for the most part, I do keep my 6 feet, 6.5 feet, like that. I keep them small. I do not let my fruit trees get out of control. What's going on? What's going on? I'm gonna tell you what's going on. Here's what's going on. Here is what's going on. Wintertime is on its way here in Maryland, 7B, and I put some spinach plants out. I just went out and took some pictures of them. They don't look like they're going to make it because they're very small. I put spinach out and also put kale out, and I'm getting ready to get those. Just it's just a basic test of what I did. They were fed very well, and that's the only thing I think is keeping them alive. And So I did that, and then I turned around and made uh, a promise to myself. I got to cut all these trees back. It's about 25 of them I mentioned earlier, and everything looks good here. Everything looks good. I know you doing. I know you doing your thing. I haven't seen any videos from you in a while. I guess you've been working, kind of busy. But I got to keep moving. Got to keep moving here. I just purchased something online. I was a little nervous about purchasing it. There's a little box there. And this right here is it relates to gardening from this perspective. I have to keep moving in order to keep my garden ahead of the game and alive. Most of what I do with my garden, a lot of times I do in the winter. I do it in the winter, getting my soil ready, collecting compost, things like that, whether it be leaves or whether it be wood chips. I collect them during the winter. Everything on earth that you can possibly think of. We just had a Black Friday go by, um, and I went out to some of the stores to see if I could find some things for my gardening that might be on sale. Well, things like fertilizers and all that sort of thing is not on sale, but I did find some sales. I know you might have caught some of that where I went out and I found a lot of items that was like 60 cents, 70 cents, $1.90. $7 bags that were $1.90. Yeah, let's see. Same here. Oh, okay, okay. Now we're not real cold right now. Right now today, the temperatures are about 50 degrees, something like that. But a couple nights ago we had it down to 27 degrees. So um, I don't know what it is with me. When I go out into the garden, I get out there and just looking around and seeing the total difference from big lush trees to trees don't have any leaves on them and they're long and they're getting big, and so I'm just cutting them back and saying no, we can't do this. You will stay in this small spot or this area where you belong at, not reaching out 10 feet across, and you're supposed to be a dwarf tree. But those dwarf trees, we had some rain this year, and I mentioned it on one of my shows. The dwarf trees, which if you look at the packaging, a lot of them say 8 to 10 feet. 8 to 10 feet. These trees were close to 17 and 20 feet tall, and they're dwarfs. So they dwarf will get big. I mean, people say they won't, but they will. You give them the right conditions. When we had all that rain hit here, hello, hello. We had all that rain hit here, and those trees got big. They got big. Now, winter's coming up. I got to keep moving. So those vehicles, I never had any trouble with vehicles breaking down in the winter. And plus, we have a great service called AAA, so I stick with them. Matter of fact, I renewed with them on under Black Friday. I think it's Black Friday. I renewed, saved like $30 on the whole thing. I got the premium service, so I love that. This here, I'm gonna start carrying in my vehicle because what it does, and it just came in the mail. I mean, I ordered it like yesterday, and it's already here. I ordered it from Amazon, and what it is a battery charger system, but it's one of the finest ones you'll find to keep me moving because I'm the morning gardener. I gotta stay where I can move around with supplies for the garden and everything. I can't be sitting around. And this is what came in a little pack there. Um, and he said hello to the food forest. Yes, and this is it right here. This little thing here. This little thing's supposed to be able to charge up trucks, cars, whatever. It's lightweight too. And cell phones, if you're stuck out there, it's got USB little connectors there. And I'm just getting it, so I'm not sure everything about it, but I just know that this makes me feel comfortable when this is in the glove box and I'm going somewhere. And if my car or a friend car acts up, I can go out and hook it up. And there's a little cable that came with it. Hook that up and plug it in there, and I can get that car started. Now, the great thing about these is they deliver hundreds of the ability to start before it goes dead. I'm not trying. Let's see. Okay. All righty. So that's what's taking place is I'm just trying to keep it moving. It has plugs up in the glove box. You can charge up your cell phone. If you're out somewhere stuck and your cell phone is already low, you can charge it up. All this it hooks into this unit. It has multiple connectors. There we go. These are like adapters, and that will help me on my way. So I'm happy about that. I'm happy. I said I wanted one because it's a nice little toy, and and it's a serious tool as well. It's got digital readout. It's got it's even has a little. You don't need this, but it's a little compass right there. You kind of see it moving. It's a compass. So, and I guess I could use this. I could actually have a compass on my cell phone. They put everything on cell phones and apps. But what happened is, they always recommend that you grow a garden in a certain direction, and I want to see if my garden in that direction. It's just crazy, but I got it, and it's thought I'd throw it out there for you because some of you might be like I am, nervous to ride around in a car that wintertime comes, you want to make sure I always carry a shovel in my car, always a short handled shovel I carry. Um, and also I make certain that I have all the supplies, a blanket, water, things like that. I'll make sure that's in that car. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. And it's beautiful boxes and beautiful cloth material. I think I got this for $50. It normally sells for about 100 and something like that. You can look it up and check it out, and it's all there's a manual to it. That's the manual. I think I'm getting that in there. And I really had excuse me, I had a lot of fun with it when it came in the mail. I looked down and said, "What? It's already here." Um, I showed this yesterday. I gotta put these in a pot today. This is garlic I'm just messing with indoors, and this is put in there maybe I want to say a week and a half ago, 2 weeks. This is garlic from the refrigerator. Garlic from the refrigerator, and and I'm gonna put it in a pot and just let it stay there until I can grow it, put it in the ground in the spring. Um, some of the plant leaves back, and I brought them in. You might want to try that next year because sometimes you get a big, beautiful pepper plant. It's a shame to just kill them. Oh, okay, okay, good thing, good thing. And it's just a great thing to bring the pepper plants in and overwinter them because they really do well when you do that. Yeah, they really do well. I was surprised how well they were doing. Only thing you got to do is remember just not to overwater them. That's basically it. Just not overwater them, and they'll do quite well. These right here, sometimes I'll let them dry out a little bit, and then I'll go back to watering them. And I'll just moisten the soil. I will not let the pot sit in water. That's just something I don't do because I've learned that it doesn't work. Tried it a couple times last year and the year before that, and I would overwater them, and they immediately start dying. Now, it doesn't need direct sunlight, just a little bit of light, and it does quite well. Um, but I'm doing good. I mean, all my trees out there I looked at are doing good. I do have the thing with the apple trees, they're a little skinny. I call them skinny because they could be bigger and burlier, and I'm saying, well, what's going on here? And I think it has something to do with the fact that um, they're not getting enough to eat. These apple trees are not getting enough to eat because um, it's been a little difficult for me here lately finding wood chips. It has been. I see a truck that's going by, and guess you could stop them and say, "Hey, listen." I did it one time before when he was working at the college up the street from where I live, and I did get two loads from them, and that was easy. All I did is said, "What are you going to do with these?" And Jones said, "You want them?" And I said, "Yeah." And he drove, followed me back to the house, and he dropped them in the yard, a whole load. I mean, completely full. And then we went back. I know he went back, and I actually drove by on my way back from Walmart, saw him again, and he had another truckload. And he said, "I'll follow you." He didn't even ask this time. He said, "I'll follow you." And I said, "Okay." And went, dumped the second load. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. And I used all that up, needless to say. Two truckloads, I used it up. And they are now permanently part of my soil. All the soil in that area of the property is black and it's pretty. Um, and you cannot see any remnants of wood chips. It's just black soil. Yes. Yes. And thank you. It is nice because it's a free resource. If you don't use it, I understand some of them just dump it in landfill um, along with everything else. And that's really sad. Uh, I would much rather them leave it in the woods where they go somewhere and dump it in the woods because it will turn into black soil. And and I understand why they do stuff like they do, but they go to a place, they pay some of them pay to dump it. When you get that from them, you just save their company money. That's why the company sometimes I used to have it where the company would call me, and I can't remember the number of the company or the name of the company. I think it was, I have I had the number, and they would call and they would say, "Would you like a load?" And if I had that connection now, I would say yes. I'll tell you where I wanted that, and I want to be there when they dump it because I don't want them to dump it in the front. of the yard anymore because I had to move all that one time. I had 2 truckloads dumped there, and I had to move that physically by myself. And it took 3 weeks, and I was on it every day for hours on end. Every single part of me hurt. Every single part of me hurt. But I mean, and I couldn't believe that. I mean, my God, one person. It's all. It feel like it'll feel like it's impossible to move 20,000 pounds of wood chips, but it can be done. But the mountain that you will see in front of you when he dumps that second load, even the first load will make you second guess. But that second load, you'll look at it and you'll say, "There's no way I can move this. I need a front loader to do this." And that's how big the piles are. The pile I had was. So now I have a different location where they could dump it, and I could leave it there for years if I want to, and it would never hurt anything. They would just pull up from a lot that's next to me, back up to my wall, and just dump it over the wall. Dump it over the wall. It'll take about 2 loads there, and then it'll fill it up a bit, and then I'll have to wait for the next load when I get that cleared out. Using a wheelbarrow, moving them around, that's no problem because you just move a little here, a little there, a little here, a little there, and it'll sit there and it'll turn into a mound of black, pretty soil sitting there. And that soil will be so pretty and so nutritious to your garden. Yeah, that's the type of barrel I'm talking about. That one with the front wheel, just that one front wheel. Um, you can move the stuff around. You put it at the base of trees, put it at the base of plants, and you are set. You are set. It will do a beautiful job uh, to your trees and to your plants like blueberries and blackberries and things like that. It will do a beautiful job. Now the blueberries that I have, I'm going to acidify the soil in that area probably tomorrow or the next day because I like to do it in the winter, so it's already there and it's ready to grow when summer and spring. Well, when spring and summer hit. I always say it in the wrong order, but I really just enjoy it. I'm just anxious to get in the garden. I'm just anxious, and winter here just started, so that's the thing about doing the gardening thing is that it can get a hold of you once you get addicted to it. Um, it can get a hold on you where you can't even believe that it is something that you have to do, and that's why I do all of this because I love it. I love it. I love it. It's just a beautiful thing when you can get out there and uh, and get tied up into the garden, and it feels like I mean you're getting connected to nature. I mean when you see the trees that you put in there, that you spent time working with, and those trees are now producing uh, food, beautiful apples, beautiful peaches, beautiful plums. Now there's a tree that I have that should be producing this year, um, and it has not yet produced yet. It is a plum tree. I have a Stanley plum tree, and I have another plum tree called a Santa Rose, and both are very good plums. I understand, but I'm ready to see what they'll do. They have some of you heard about a fruit store online called Stock Bros. Um, they're claiming to have sales on, but they're not really sales. I know because I spend ample time always looking at Stock Bros online, and these are not sales. I mean, they're not sales. They're saying that they're sales, but I don't see where they really knocked anything off the price. You haven't knocked anything off. The price is basically just the same. A couple pennies off here there, and that's about it. And so, I mean, really, they need to stop um, saying that they're sales. So, just go and look on their page. You can see them on there. They got They got this, they say fall berry sale, fall berry sale. They trying to move this stuff, folks. They need to move this stuff because, thank you for the thumbs up. They need to move this stuff because this stuff is sitting in warehouses right now and they need to get it out of there. So first they put it out, they go out in the fields and they pull everything. Then they start plugging all these ads all over everywhere to get everybody to come out and buy them. But what the problem with it is some of these plants and trees, now that they realize that people are now feeding themselves. A lot of you, I wish some of you would put up online, are you using your garden to secretly feed your family? Are you using your garden to feed yourself? Just put it up there. And because I know some of us are, I know I am, because I started looking at it years ago, and I saw where these food prices were going, and I also saw where the safety factor was going. Because I went to my grocery store yesterday, and all of the lettuce were off the shelf because the stores are not carrying them right now. From out of California, when I think a young lady died or got sick or something. I don't want to misquote that, but they pulled everything off the shelf and discovered that, okay, this is coming from California. These bad lettuce, which is romaine. They call it romaine, but they actually pulled everything off the shelf. They didn't just pull the romaine off. And so when they did that, I said, oh my God. I said, now the food supply at these stores, they can't, just one second, they can't keep safe. They can't keep the food supply safe. So that being said, I thank God that I had the idea to start feeding myself from my garden, and I try to grow as much as I can. Right now, I have food down in my refrigerator, and soon will be a deep freezer to keep as much food stored that I grow as I possibly can, and so that's how that works. But Stark Brothers has got a bunch of berry plants online. They also have some trees online. They're also talking about extra large trees, or fruit, excuse me, from these trees. Any buzzes that get you to buy it. But they selling blueberry plants. They selling raspberry plants. They selling gold raspberry plants, which I never heard of before. I guess they've been out there a while. And then they selling Concord seedless grapes. I don't know if I care for them kind of grapes, but some people do like them. And so that's how that works. So, I mean, and I get all my magazines, of course, a lot of you do, from these stores that are selling a lot of their products online. All the magazines come and they stuff them all in your inbox, in your inbox. They stuff them in your mailbox, and they want you to buy, and they need you to buy because they have perishable goods to sell. And then sometimes, if you wait to the right time to buy these trees, I have gotten $30 trees marked down as $6, and they sent them to me. Yeah, they were a little on the small side. I did not care because they were high quality trees, and I stuck them in the ground. One of them that I purchased was $6. Um, um, a pink lady. That's an apple tree, and I needed the apple tree. I wanted the apple tree. When I saw $6, you could. I was drooling while I was punching it on the computer to order it, and I ordered it, and I got it. And I said, "Thank God, I got it." Then I said, "The one of the most expensive apples in the market is they call it the honey crisp apple. I have that apple. I have that apple, and I got it." So I said to myself, yeah, let's do this. Make sure you have apples on your property. Make sure you have pears on your property. Pears are a meaty kind of vegetable you can eat and actually fill your belly. Plus, it's a durable tree. I mean, you can put it in the yard, and it gets in near and in the fall, and then your stuff is really start ripening up real pretty, and you can actually eat those and sustain yourself. Uh, and I like that. I really like it. Yeah. So, just keep up the good work, folks, and keep yourself fed, and make certain that, because, I mean, you never know when it might come a time now where the government might step in and say, hey, wait a minute. These people got to pay taxes for this stuff. We got to make our money off of this. These people are growing food. We can't have that. Our grocery stores are hurting, and we got to get something out of this because they don't want you just getting anything for free. And they find a way to come around and say, hey, wait a minute. Um, but they would have a hard time uh, trying to control that because people could put seeds in the woods and come back later and eat off them, things like that. It'd be risky, but trying to control something like that is almost uh, it'd be almost impossible to do. But they can do it. They can make it. They can make you raise hell because other farmers and gardeners would tell on other farmers and gardeners. You know how it works in some cases. Um, I am planning on uh, adding probably a new fruit tree to my garden. I have 25 more in a high density style of growing. That's what I grow my trees close together. That's what that fancy word means, high density, is growing things close together. I've done that. It works. I have trees that are big and burly around, and they are grown close together. And so when the peaches come, they all come, bam, they all come at one time. Excuse me, you can freeze some of them. You can make ice cream from them, pies from them. You can eat them as is. You could give them away. You could give them to churches and things like that. I always said if I had a bumper crop, I would try to do as much as I can to give to the church because it's they could use it. They could use it. Some of the cooks in there can make all kind of pies and desserts out of them and things like that. And they don't go to waste because and one of my favorite that I grow is the kiwi plant. The kiwi plant is a plant growing. It is growing very well. It's doing very well. Um, wait a minute. Hold up. Hold up. Somebody just wrote something here. I think he put here buying fruit trees are $100 a pop. 100, all right. Oh wait, first year. Okay, so they're saying that they will bear the first year. I say, do I want to give somebody $100 for a trade? They got one place online called Fast Growing Trees, something like that. That's the name of the site. I think it's Fast Growing Trees. Um, Never bought from them because I do not like their prices. My God, I mean they get premium price for them trees, premium price. Um, Stock Bros is high. You get a quality tree. When you talking about $30, $25 versus 100, if this place is sold for 100, um, a tree is a worthwhile investment, and the best time to put it in the ground I found is in the fall. I mean, as long put it like this, right now it's winter here. As long as I can dig in that ground and get that tree in, I'm set, and I can dig in that ground now. It's not messed up. Okay, okay. And I think that when you do a lot of growing of trees, just care for them. The first year is the most important year when you put them in the ground. Mr. Lee Farmer, 73, knows that. The first year is the most dedicated time where the tree is still, getting familiar with that soil and watering is important. And once it starts leafing out, getting um, the tree, make sure that it eats and that sort of thing. So after about the second year, you kind of wean those things off. And I tell people this. This is something I tell people, and everyone does something different. When I first put a tree in the ground, when I first put a tree in the ground, I do not fertilize. When it goes in the ground, I simply I water the roots very well. Once I water the roots, I let those trees get watered properly. Once they get, then I put it in the ground and, and make certain that you don't cover up the union that they put there. That union, you'll see it. I say 2.5, 3 inches below that. I do not go nowhere near that union. Once that takes place, I'm set. When spring comes and I see that tree start leafing out, once I see that, it's on. And then I go ahead and and put that fertilizer down to give it kind of a boost. You could use a little spikes. You could use just some granulated fertilizer around the tree that is what they call it. Oh God, about a half a cup, depending on the size of the tree. You can put that around the base, which is an organic fertilizer. You could use a granulated 10-10-10 or something like that around. It's just something to give it something to eat. And then what the roots will do, they will go out into the ground and they will search for their own water and food. That's what their job is. That's what those roots' job is. That they will find food. That's what their job is. That primarily they're going to find that food. And once they start leafing out, you can put a guard around the trunk of the tree so that mice and rabbits don't chew away the bark and kill the tree. And then the tree will eventually keep growing and growing and growing, and then to the point where it's big around as your wrist and all that, and the arm, and now it's somewhat protected. And now, in the second year, if it's a dwarf, the second year, you're going to start seeing fruit start appearing. Now, you could take that fruit off to allow the tree to fully establish itself even further, or you could let a couple of pieces of fruit grow, and it will slow the tree down from maturing and doing what it's supposed to do, but you will get a couple of pieces of fruit. Some people just wait until the third year and then they start eating ample supplies of apples or the peaches. I want to know from some of you: are you spraying your trees, your fruit trees? Are you spraying your fruit trees? If so, with what? What are you spraying your trees with? Trees are, I've tried for a number of years allowing my trees to not be sprayed, and the bugs eat majority of the fruit up. That is something that I've been dealing with, especially when it comes to the peach trees. But I saw the same thing happen the first year this year. Um, oh, okay, okay, okay. And you would never spray. Um, I look at the apples this year. I even shot photos of the apples. What the insects did to these apples. What they did is they went inside the apple, and it caused the apple to be misshapen. And when the apple was mature, I remember cutting away at the apple. A majority of the apple I could eat, but there were some parts where I saw that something had crawled in. I did not eat, and I said, "Okay, wonder what is in here." And I cut around and looked for it, and I couldn't find anything. But I remember the apple was misshapen, and it was a Granny Smith apple that they did that to. And another apple I had, which had like a brown scab on it, like it's called an apple scab. And I think I may have caused that by spraying it with what was I spraying it with? Was it Epsom salt? I think I sprayed the tree with. So, you know, just a trial I did Epsom salt. And would I do it again? No, I wouldn't do it again. It makes the fruit look really, really, really bad. But all in all, I love my apple trees. I love my the trees that I have that are uh, cherry trees. I'm learning every animal on earth likes them. The birds, insects. Uh, and one year, okay, you talked about like, are you talking about like a neem oil? No, 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 no. Wait a minute. Yeah, I think it's neem oil. Well, one of them is neem oil. Okay, okay, okay. Thank you. Neem oil. Neem oil. That's it. Neem oil. I have plenty of that. I have plenty of that. I was wondering. I found a bottle of it yesterday in the kitchen area, and I said, "Wonder why I ordered this." It's been some time. It's been some time. No bugs here ever or scab. Okay, okay, all right. No bugs or scab there. I'd like to see some more videos of you guys up there because I've been looking for them, and awesome. Okay, there's a food forest that really loves Nemo. Loves it, you know, and also lead farmer. I like that name, lead farmer. I like that. 73. He says exactly, because he likes the Nemo as well. Let's see. Yes, move on. Yeah, Nemo. I love this when people get together online and they're actually sharing information with each other, and it makes everybody a stronger gardener because what lead farmer may know, lady love may not know. Something lady love may know, lead farmer may not know. And so you take that information and you pass it around. Oh, and even the morning garden, I may not know. So it helps. It helps everybody out. It helps every single person out. He may have had success with apple trees. I may have had problems with apple trees. He may share something with me that I can say, "Oh, I didn't know that," or "Thanks," or "Let me try that." Yeah, that's how it works. Because I mean, that's how it works. That's how it goes around, folks. That's how it goes around. Information is power, and it is absolute power when you put it into motion. So true. So true. Yes. This is getting exciting now because I'm seeing all these intelligent gardeners out there. They're sharing information. Because a lot of times I get people online, they don't say anything. They allow me to go on for like 30 minutes and then they say, okay, it's like watching a television show. Somebody's just talking. A talking head, they call it. But the information is there. Um, how many of you out there have clay soil? I want to find out because I know I have clay soil. How many of you out there, have clay soil? Dealing with clay soil issues, uh, finding ways to grow in clay soil, how to improve clay soil. Anyone out there? Clay soil. I just want, yes, clay soil here. Okay, you have clay soil there. And I have clay soil here. And how could I say, hello all, I have clay soil. Okay, there's another Garden City Food Forest. I like that name, man. Garden City Food Forest. I like that. Let's see. Lead Farmer. Okay. He's got some faces up there, and uh, but Mr. Lead Farmer, do you suffer with clay soil? Okay. Now, here's what we're getting here. By uh, some of you living in different places in the states, or and it works like this. Here's what's going on. We mostly have clay soil, and as we all know, clay soil has certain characteristics about it. Yes, here is okay. Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Oh, y'all coming fast and furious now. Let's see. Hey, Garden City Food Park. Um, they have certain characteristics, and that being that it's heavy. It has smaller components to it that it's very difficult for water to get through. Um, but it is high in nutritional value. It has a lot of nutrients in clay soil. That's just a natural thing about clay soil. Um, okay, all right. Let's see, and so all the thing has to take place is that clay soil, in some cases, has to be mixed with organic matter. And now I like to do, and this is what I have found to be proven to be very effective for me. I dig a hole, I take the contents out, and I mix it 50-50 with organic matter. Once I do that, I can fill that hole back in and add my amendments to the soil, fertilizer, and that sort of thing, and then put the plant in there and watch it grow. It's that simple. Um, the biology in the soil will locate the organic matter that you put there in that location. And they will come into that area and they will eat and they will live and they will die and they will reproduce and everything right there underneath your tree, underneath your bush, underneath your cabbage that you planted. When that takes place, your plant starts eating the food supply that they are establishing in that area. They will eat that food supply in a form that the plant can take in. That is how the chain works, and it is a wonderful thing. Yes, yes, thank you. Uh, and so when you treat want that they have, which I'm finding it very, I'm very curious about it. I've been looking into it for a few weeks now, and I'm thinking I want to use this method of gardening this year, which is basically growing items together that use each other to do better. Beans produce nitrogen, so you put it in areas where corn is grown. You put plants such as squash in areas where you have corn and beans growing to cover the area so that you don't get as many weeds. That being, and the Indians have used this methodology of growing in their survival here in this land many years ago. Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Oh boy, this guy. I mean, this leaf farmer is definitely. You can hear him talk on his videos, and you can tell that he's a leader. He's a leader because he actually puts the information out there. He's trying just to help people. He's trying to help people. He actually, and the same goes with a lot of you out there. You really don't have to help people. You can say, "I've learned this. I've mastered. I've got my certificate and master garden program. I'm not sharing it." You could do that, but you choose not to. You choose to be on here sharing information on what works or what have worked for you. And it helps other people out. And that's what I really enjoy about doing this. This is power. This is actually getting your power back when you can feed yourself, when you can feed your family, when you can teach your children and your grandchildren how to do this. Oh my, don't get me started. Do not get me started on this. Because, I mean, don't get me started. Because, my goodness, when you do this, families start understanding what it's like to own land, to have access to land, because they can use it to feed themselves. And they're not making any more of it, not making any more land. It's already been done. But good people, I'm going to get out of here. It's been real good. This has been a great show. This is one of the best shows. I hope we could do this again like this. And I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in. I really do. You've been great. You've been getting involved and you've been saying stuff, and I just love it. Thank you. Thank you very much, Lady Love. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. This has been The Morning Gardener, and we'll do this again real soon. Thank you very much.